The vessel is the father of the teas. There is a Chinese saying that literally translates into that. It goes, 气是茶之父. What it means in tea philosophy is that the vessel really determines how the tea unfolds and expresses itself. Because the teaware shapes and guides the tea, just like a father figure. The same tea can taste completely different according to the vessel you use. It really depends on the material and the shape because it will heavily influence the heat retention of the tea and the water. The vessel doesn't change the leaf, but it definitely determines how the leaves will unfold. So of course we have a handmade chart for this, but before we dive into it tea by tea, I want to highlight the most determining factor, which is the material of the different vessels. So here, for example, I have a glass, we have porcelain, and we have the clay pot. So glass, for example, you want to use a glass teapot or a glass gaiwan for low temperature teas. Green teas are a very good example because they're super light and they're very flowy in the water. So with a glass vessel like this, you have the maximum kind of visual appreciation, and it's really good because the heat goes away faster. Green tea leaves are so fresh and delicate, so you don't want to oversteep them or have too much heat on them. It's 80 degrees anyway, so glass vessel is perfect. Porcelain gaiwans are really good if you want clarity and very neutralized taste. It's great for lightly oxidized teas like red teas, for example. Also, a gaiwan allows very precise brewing control. So, for example, you can determine how the water pours into it, over the tea, or onto the tea. And it really has like greater flexibility. You can appreciate it more because when you open the gaiwan, you can really look at the tea, how it unfolds. So yeah, I would say this one is actually very universal, but good for highly oxidized or high aroma teas like black tea, for example. You want to use a Yixing clay pot for aged or roasted teas because if they're either roasted, aged, or fermented, you want extreme high heat retention. So if you go in with 100 degrees Celsius water, the clay really holds the warmth together. This will really give a rounded texture and enhance depth. So it would be extremely great for dark teas like pu'er, for example. Also, for aged teas, the clay will absorb some of its aged flavor. So yeah, it makes the tea more round and perfect. So for aged tea, fermented tea, Yixing clay pot is the best. In the next video, we will go tea by tea according to my chart, and I will share my recommendations for which tea plus which vessel is equals the best tea.